For the past 18 years, New Orleans has been the home to Tales of the Cocktail, and a second home to many of you. Yet this is the first year our city has been unable to welcome you home. As we wrap a week of digital events, this weighs heavy on us. This past year has brought previously unknown hardships and challenges to our community, and as we face a global pandemic, we have also begun a much-needed reconciliation of the racial injustices and inequalities that permeate all aspects of society. Our hearts go out to you. Your struggle has been the struggle of New Orleans. Hospitality is the lifeblood of this city, and in being denied the opportunity to open our doors to you, we have been denied the opportunity to do what comes most natural to us.
New Orleans has been through its share of disasters, but our collective sense of community and camaraderie have always allowed us to survive these hardships. Today will be no different, because New Orleans represents the type of hospitality where we look at one another as partners instead of rivals, where we excel in supporting each other in our everyday lives and in times of crisis. We know this mentality is what also drives our global cocktail community, and we know it will be our way forward. Over the past 6 months, we have been inspired to see this community stay connected, stay active, and stay supportive of one another. We've seen so many of you give your time and your resources to help those hit hardest by the pandemic. We've seen you step up when you've been needed most. And this action and initiative is what will allow us to grow. The bar business isn't going away. It might be changing, but it will always be present. People will always need a space to come together and gather.
So let us take advantage of this change, because in many ways, change is long overdue. Let us take this opportunity to make our bars and businesses more equitable and inclusive spaces. Let us make the necessary changes so that we are proud of the organizations we run and so that our staff and our guests can be proud too.
For those of you that had to close your doors for now, we know this isn't the end. You are the creative and talented heart of this industry, and we will navigate this together.
We chose the theme Catalyst for this year's Tales of the Cocktail back in 2019, and it is now more relevant than ever. Catalyst, the spark of change. We have long known that the Foundation's job isn't to single-handedly enact the change in our industry that we so desperately need, but rather it is to create a space for our global community to convene and move the industry forward. We think it's safe to say, together, we have sparked change this week. This work is far from done, and we know after Tales, we will collectively continue moving forward. Today, we honor the trailblazers advancing cocktail culture around the world. The Spirited Awards allows us to acknowledge the accomplishments of our peers while giving us the inspiration to grow our craft and our community. We want to welcome you in joining us to celebrate this year's nominees and winners. Wherever you are, we hope you raise a glass to them, to yourselves, and to the future of our industry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 14th Annual Spirited Awards, honoring your 2019 nominees and winners. To introduce our Philanthropy honorees, please welcome co-chair of the Tales of the Cocktail Foundation, Gary Solomon Jr.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this week for the first ever digital Tales of the Cocktail. We know that in this current climate, you are preoccupied with so much, but the fact that we can still take the opportunity to come together and to learn from each other and celebrate this craft that we love, well, that is something very special. Last year, as we started the planning process for the 2019 Spirited Awards, we felt like something was missing from the ceremony. The bartending in the spirits industry is resolute in its commitment to giving back to others. In 2019, we gave the inaugural Philanthropy Award to Speed Rack, an organization run by two very deserving women who have made and continue to make a large impact on the cocktail world and for a global community fighting breast cancer. We chose to honor philanthropy at the Spirited Awards because as much as your skill and your craft and your artistry contribute to advancing cocktail culture, it's your commitment to supporting others, which is the legacy that you leave behind. This year, we chose to acknowledge multiple organizations doing great acts of philanthropy in the last 6 months of the pandemic, as opposed to celebrating a singular organization. When we asked each of our committees, including our Grants Advisory, Education, and Spirited Awards judges, to nominate individuals and organizations that were specifically supporting the industry during the pandemic, we were inspired by the submissions. Working closely with our Grants Advisory Committee, we were able to select examples that you will hear today. And we are committed to sharing more examples of industry-driven philanthropic work beyond tonight's Spirited Awards ceremony. This recognition is intended to honor organizations making incredible strides to lift others up and leaving an indelible mark on the industry in their wake. This year has been an unprecedented time of turbulence for all, but it has hit our community especially hard. We know that there is no easy way out of this and no words or actions that will soften each of your own individual struggles, but we do hope that you can be inspired, as we have been, by the people in our industry who have been actively working to support us in this heightened time of need. For example, Hope and Sesame from Guangzhou, China, shared a particular and thoughtful guide of how to reopen safely, keep staff safe, implement strategies for cost savings during closure and decreased occupancy, and how to transition to the to-go business and alternate revenue sources. At a time where everyone felt there was no roadmap, Hope and Sesame was one of the first bars to proactively and generously share their experiences as an outline for the world to work off and learn from. Sometimes relief requires immediate financial assistance. Restaurant Workers Community Foundation set up the COVID-19 Relief Fund, which became a widely shared, credible source for donations at the onset of the economic shutdown in the United States. The organization quickly became a major source of financial support for a variety of initiatives in support of the hospitality industry challenges, from legal aid to healthcare, food, rental assistance, transportation, domestic violence support, childcare, and other vital emergency provisions. To date, they have raised nearly $7 million. And with so many members of the industry furloughed or laid off during the pandemic, meeting basic needs became a challenge for many. COVID-19 Employee Assistance Directive from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, was created by the bar owners behind Hats and Tats and Ends and Means, who chose to prioritize directly helping the bartenders in their community. By creating a platform to allow those seeking to help the less fortunate, it has not only built a support system for those seeking assistance through delivery of free quality meals, but it's enabled hospitality professionals to continue doing what they love. This has resulted in tens of thousands of meals delivered and a program that helps support the mental health and well-being of thousands of people that this organization has touched. This has only been made possible by the hard work and commitment from over 65 volunteers who have stepped up into new roles, including but not limited to packing, cooking, administration, case management, delivery, and logistics. To support our continued effort, we have partnered with Santa Teresa to honor the individuals and organizations featured this evening.
Hi, my name is Alberto Vollmer. I'm the CEO of Ron Santa Teresa, based here in Caracas, Venezuela. I would like to congratulate everybody who's participated in this philanthropy category. It's quite amazing and inspiring to see how many of you have so quickly reacted in the midst of this pandemic with initiatives aimed at helping others. Some of you have done it through fundraising campaigns, others have done it through educational tools and resources, others have done it through community organizing and activism at a local, national, or even global levels. To all of those organizations that are being celebrated today, and to all the thousands of other initiatives around the world who are doing the same thing in this industry, in this community, congratulations to all of you. And I'd like to raise a toast with Santa Teresa to each and every one of you, wishing you more power to you as you smile back at adversity with the greater good in mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Alberto. The Spirited Awards would not be possible without your support and the generous support of all of our sponsors. Let these organizations be an example of how we can truly make a difference in the lives of others, and a reassurance that there are already so many looking for a way forward for all. And these organizations serve as a model for our industry. Let our industry serve as a model to the rest of the world, of how support and unity is the only way to face the current challenges brought on by this pandemic. The bartending and spirits industry has proven that it is our own people who will get us through this. And at Tales, we have confidence that these philanthropic acts will lead to even more acts of support and solidarity. You motivate us to continue pushing the boundaries of what is possible within our foundation, and we are proud to be a part of this community. Thank you.
Now, please welcome head bartender and partner at Jewel of the South and 2008 CAP alumni, Chris Hanna.
Hello, everyone. In 2008, Tales of the Cocktail was in its infancy, but it was also starting to grow into a large community and event. As more and more seminars were hosted each year, and more people attending these seminars, there became a need for large volume cocktail batching. Seminar moderators wanted their audience to be able to taste the spirits and cocktails they were discussing, but it was impossible for them to prepare enough tastings on their own. Thus, the Cocktail Apprentice program, or CAP as we call it, was born. The purpose of the CAP was to organize and join together aspiring bartenders and those just starting their career to prepare thousands of cocktails to make the seminars at Tales a success. From that point forward, almost every drink you've tasted during a seminar or Tales programming since 2008 was prepared by a CAP. The Week of Tales wouldn't be possible without those individuals that have dedicated themselves to running this program and without all of the CAP alumni. The program quickly became more than just a well-run batching machine. It grew into a program that provides unparalleled training and mentorship to those just starting their careers. It grew into a program that has produced some of the most successful and accomplished individuals in our industry. But most importantly, it grew into an amazing community. It has become tradition during the Spirited Awards to celebrate the incredible work of the 65-plus person team over the Week of Tales. So today, we wanted to look back at some of that footage and reflect upon the history of the CAP and everything it has offered our industry over the past decade.
The Week of Tales is probably one of the most mentally and physically strenuous tasks that someone could do. But at the end of that week, what you see is people who have formed brand new friendships, personal relationships, professional relationships. So with Tales going remote this year, and the role of the CAP has drastically changed. We're not there, we're not batching, we're not prepping, we're not dropping tastings. So this year we have an opportunity to get online and engage in a digital space to learn and experience what each other have to offer.
So my first year as a CAP member, I was really just starting out in the industry. It just opened my eyes to just how large and amazing this industry can be. The CAP program is really a place where you can learn about how to be a leader. The CAPs are able to take what they've learned over the week and how they've worked together, and then they take it back to their own communities.
I'm a bartender from Africa, Kenya to be precise. I've never been out of Kenya. The first time I went to Tales was the first time I came out of Kenya. I really wanted to go to New Orleans. I really wanted to see how the bartenders are connecting. Imagine different bartenders from all over the world coming, exchanging ideas. It's actually a life-changing experience. From there, I gained my self-confidence as a bartender because I learned something new from that. I connected with the big industry names.
My very first Tales of the Cocktail as a CAP was on tour. The CAP program, when it goes on tour, is a lot smaller. We execute those seminars with a smaller team of local bartenders. As we go from place to place to place on tour, we make sure that we're getting a cross-section of bartenders from that location.
We say on the very first day, what is the CAP program and how do we define it? And we define it as a mentorship program. It's very important to remember that mentorship does not happen over, 10 days, the 10 days that we're all there together during Tales. I think the differentiation between mentorship and teamwork is maybe a little more short-term, and mentorship is a much more long-term invested relationship.
The idea of the Cocktail Apprentice program is to create future leaders of our industry, and that is ultimately what we try to do with even the newest CAP. We know that they're going to take something from this program and push it forward to the people around them. When COVID basically shut everything down back in March, the idea of having a mentor is more important now than ever. People are looking for a way to grow, a way to learn. People are looking for that influence, to have that person above them to learn from, to draw from.
Mentorship is very important. During this time, it's tough times, nothing is normal. You gotta have someone that you can always reach out to.
There's so much uncertainty with the future. What is important are the connections that we make, the friendships that we make, and the networking.
It's a program that continues to give back. An unbelievable opportunity for me to grow as a person and grow as a professional just by having access to those people, those mentors, and those new friends. Even today in 2020, I'll never ever give those memories up.
Tales of Cocktail really benefits the whole cocktail industry all over the world. My biggest goal is to make sure that Kenya and Nairobi and especially Africa to be on the same level as the rest of the world in terms of hospitality and the drinking culture.
At the end of the day, the hospitality industry is a relationship industry, it's a human industry. The most special to me is the friends that I've made over the years.
We would now like to present our Best Bar Mentor Awards. For the first time ever, we are including an American and international category to better represent the many individuals inspiring the next generation. Here are your nominees and winners. The nominees for Best International Bar Mentor are Simone Caporale, Alex Cretina, Lauren Moat, Agostino Perrone. And the Spirited Award goes to Alex Cretina. Please welcome Alex Cretina.
Thank you so much. I'm very honored to receive this award. It's a bit funny because I feel way too young to actually receive it, and I still have lots to learn. We had a very difficult year for the entire industry globally. And I want to promise to all of you that I will take the things that come with this award and I will use them to elevate the profession. So the next time we are hit by such a crisis, we are not forgotten by our governments like we've been forgotten now. I wish everyone the very best luck for the recovery and see you soon somewhere around the world at the bar. Thank you.
The nominees for Best American Bar Mentor are Bridget Albert, Alex Day, Lynn House, Don Lee, and the Spirited Award goes to Don Lee. Please welcome Don Lee.
Thank you so much for this award. Being the best mentor this year means a lot to me. I came up into this community as somebody who was an outsider, somebody who was a customer, somebody who just appreciated cocktails. And when I got that opportunity to join this community, it was only because of the mentors who came before me who gave me that opportunity. So I've always thought it was very important for me to give back to this community as well. Many people have been part of that journey for me. And more than people who have come before me, who have been successful before me, the most important people were those who I consider my peers. People like John Darragon, who started this journey with me and continue this journey to this day, and was one of the founding people who did the Cocktail Apprentice program with me. The Cocktail Apprentice program is unique as a mentorship opportunity because it's a peer mentorship organization. It's not simply about having people who are successful bringing up people who are just starting. It is not about people who have giving to people who don't have. It's about people helping each other no matter where you are. It's about your peers. And everyone is both a mentor and a mentee at the same time. We should be intentional in how we want to be, how we want our culture to be, how we want our community to be. Being a mentor is being intentional in our actions to set that example for other people. And being a mentee means also thinking about what are those things that I want to be? What is the community that I want to be a part of? What is the example that I want to set for others as well? Be intentional in your actions, both as somebody who is learning and also setting this example for each other. Once again, thank you for this award, and I encourage you all to be mentors.
Next up is the Pioneer Award. Previously a part of the annual Dames Hall of Fame, this is the first year the Pioneer Award will be presented during the Spirited Awards. Let's take a look at the history of this award with a few words from past Dame Hall of Fame inductees.
A dame is an individual who is courageous, confident, persistent, and excels at what they do. You know, an all-encompassing description of a dame is a badass.
LUPEC is Ladies United for the Preservation of the Endangered Cocktail. I wanted to join LUPEC because I was really excited to meet more bartenders in the city, look for mentors, community, friendships, and LUPEC has given me that and more.
That framework allowed us to find purpose, give back to community through philanthropy, and to create Ladies Who Lunch and then Dames Hall of Fame, and to keep pushing and progressing.
Prior to the first LUPEC Ladies Luncheon, there was no event that was geared towards women in the industry. Their Ladies Who Lunch Spirited Luncheon back in 2011 was the spark that led us to where we are today.
And it was just about women seated at the table together, and we had honest conversations about what it was like working within this industry, having like this support from each other to keep pushing the boundaries and keep asking for more.
We have challenged ourselves, challenged the industry, and have proven that a woman can be very successful in this industry, and we wanted to mentor others.
The Pioneer Award has been part of Dames Hall of Fame since it became an official Tales of the Cocktail event.
The Pioneer Award relates to the individual's achievements and lasting contributions to the hospitality industry, but it's more emphasis on pushing boundaries, encouraging mentorship.
The Pioneer Award is meant to really honor somebody who took a larger role in advancing women within the industry and who was not just impacting their own community, but impacting the community in general.
I received the Pioneer Award in 2017, and it was an extremely special moment for me. It is wonderful to actually be recognized as a groundbreaker, a leader, a pioneer.
The Pioneer Award has changed a bit over the years as the program evolved with Tales of the Cocktail.
Beginning this year in 2020, we're transitioning from honoring women to recognizing and supporting all individuals and all marginalized groups.
I'm very proud of those changes that the Dames Hall of Fame and Tales of the Cocktail have made to it this year. The hospitality and cocktail community has a responsibility to reflect the community at large. So deeper inclusivity and really supporting active change for intersectionality is extremely important.
This is the first year that the Pioneer Award is being included in the overall Tales of the Cocktail Spirited Awards. To see it evolve onto the main stage is rewarding.
For the past 9 years, the Dames Hall of Fame have supported, honored, and cheered each other on, and now the entire drinks community will do so.
It's much more inclusive, much more important, because we used to have this separate awards function, separate from the Spirit Awards, and I'm very happy to see that we're all under the same umbrella.
As we move these awards and other ways to spotlight individuals forward, we're helping build more opportunities for people to truly be in charge of their own future and continue to bring others with them.
To present the Pioneer Award, please welcome to the screen National Portfolio Ambassador at Beam Suntory and the 2019 Pioneer Award recipient, Robin Nance.
Thank you all so much for a look into the history of the Dame Hall of Fame and the Pioneer Award. And now, on to this year's recipient. I'll say a few words about this leader before bringing them on screen. But first, it is my absolute honor and privilege to announce that the 2020 Pioneer Award recipient is Shannon Mustafer. Although we are all in different places right now, please join me in an applause and a toast to congratulate Shannon. Shannon has been a true pioneer in our industry and a woman that many have looked up to. As a younger member of our industry, She has quickly come up in our cocktail world as one of the most respected experts in all things rum. She got her start as a bartender in 2013 at Gladys Caribbean Restaurant and Bar in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. By 2014, she was the bar director. There, she grew her knowledge and craft around rum and cane spirits until she was a contributing member of the revolution of the tiki bar. Shannon has been influential in popularizing and bringing a wide variety of rums into the more mainstream, being one of the first people to begin importing small batch brands from Jamaica and Haiti into the States. She also co-founded the Cane Club Collective in New York, a rum initiative focused on education, community, tasting, and fundraising for Caribbean cane prosperity and growth. In 2019, she was the first African American in over 100 years to write a cocktail book, with the publication of Tiki, Modern Tropical Cocktails, a book that has been a huge success and has already helped the rest of us begin to learn more about and experiment with different types of rum and tiki recipes. But outside of her passions for all things tiki, it was also Shannon's aspiration to give back to the community she felt had provided her with so many opportunities. So she launched a project called Women Who Tiki, a pop-up experience where she gives other female bartenders the chance to showcase their skills and creativity through the creation of tiki cocktails. Women Who Tiki, much like Dame Hall of Fame, has brought women together to collaborate, learn from each other, and encourage one another in the cocktail community. Shannon has stood out this past year as someone truly pushing the envelope in terms of representation within the hospitality industry. Not only can so many look to her as a role model and a path to success, but her contributions have helped create a more equitable space for us all. Once again, congratulations, Shannon. We are all so proud of you and excited to see you continue to impact the hospitality industry in such a positive way. With that, here are a few words from Shannon.
Everyone, it's an incredible pleasure and delight to be a part of Tales of the Cocktail 2020. I cannot believe what's been going on this year, but what it's shown me is the strength and the resilience of our industry that we've known about all along, but now we have an opportunity to really put it into action in a way that a lot of us did not anticipate. So with that being said, I'm very proud to be not only inducted into the Dame Hall of Fame, but also to be the winner of the 2020 Pioneer Award. I believe 2020 is special for many reasons. And for those of us who have worked hard over the years to make an impact on the industry, this year provides an opportunity like none we've ever seen to really put that into play, to lean on one another, and to inspire one another. I have too many people to thank for helping me to be where I am right now. I'll mention just a few. One, my little sister, Tamika Mustafer, has always been my biggest cheerleader. Two, Gladys Caribbean, the restaurant where I found my voice behind the bar and my passion for rum and tropical cocktails. And three, all the guests, all the industry I've had the pleasure to work with and serve over the years, all the women who I've watched and who I've learned from and who I've been inspired by. So with that being said, I am honored to accept this award on the behalf of all the women who worked in the industry, past, present, as well as future. And I thank you all. I wish you well. Have a good night. Thank you.
In 2019, we introduced the Timeless American and Timeless International Awards to honor those bars that have been pillars of hospitality, service, and community within their local and regional areas for 25 plus years. Today, we would like to honor the 2020 Timeless Awards recipients. The American Timeless Awards this year goes to Angel's Share in New York City. Let's take a moment to honor the lasting legacy of Angel's Share.
When you open up that wooden door and you walk into Angel's Share, it's just beautiful. The bar's often busy, probably full. There's a lot of beautiful bartending going on, but somehow everything just feels really calm. Angel's Share has always been part of the New York cocktail culture. quite quietly, sometimes under the radar, but it's always been there. And it's interesting because if you look at the trends now, everything from Japanese bartending, Japanese whiskey, dedication to correct glassware, proper ice, all of these things Angel Share have been doing since the very beginning.
I opened Angel Share in 1993.
When Angel Share opened, there weren't that many great cocktail bars in New York City.
Most of the other bars that were making cocktails were really not interested in precision. They were just slinging booze. Angel Share filled the need that everybody had to see things done better.
New York City, especially East Village, was a kind of wild. More bars are just serving heavy liquors. So I thought myself changing some ambience.
It was just this vision of sophistication that showed you the art of the bar rather than just the get her done kind of meatball approach.
My whole purpose was customers coming in, they forget about East Village and they feel more secure to hang around our bar and having nice conversation or having nice drinks. This establishment is a quiet place that people can communicate. So we decided not to have more than 4 people as customers.
The Japanese kept this tradition of cocktail bars alive, of small, precise, competent mixology bars.
They have that style of bartending that makes it look effortless.
Why I brought the Japanese bartender culture is wherever you go to Japanese bar, you don't need to worry about if taste is correct or not, or drinkable or not.
Japanese bartending is recognized as give the customer hospitality and also focus on the small detail to make a cocktail.
We spend a lot of time to be a bartender. Everyone is passionate.
Some of the people working for me, they create their own bars.
Bartenders who have worked at Angel Share and have gone on to become very successful, for example, Shingo Gokan, one of the most sort of famous and beloved bartenders and now bar operators anywhere in the world.
So far, everybody is so successful, and I hope I can provide those kind of success to my today's bartender also.
The thing we love about Angel Share is it's been one of New York City's very best bars for a long time, and it's definitely influenced some of the greatest operators in the world.
Angel Share really hasn't changed. It was kind of born perfect and it stayed perfect.
It's almost like they've been this sort of silent stalwart of the cocktail industry, just educating us this whole time, but in a very subdued, under the radar way.
The International Timeless Award this year goes to Boada's Cocktails in Barcelona. Here are a few words on what makes Boada's Cocktails a timeless bar.
The cocktail is not the important part of this bar. The important part of this bar is the guest. When you enter in another bar, you are one more customer. When you enter in Boada's, you are the one.
It's something that is very difficult to describe. You enter and you feel something.
You step into Boada's, you lose track of the time. You lose track of the day, the year, the century.
It's like a time capsule. You travel to the 30s, to the 40s. It's amazing.
This is a gem of a bar. It's a tiny space, a triangle shape. It's a very unusual space, but as it begins to fill up, you discover this unique energy, this magic in a bar.
The atmosphere of Boada's is a very special atmosphere. It's a very old atmosphere, ancient.
Of course, it's a timeless place. It's still a living example of how bars used to be.
Our bar was founded by Miguel Boadas Parera. Miguel Boadas was one bartender in La Floridita in Cuba. When Miguel arrived at Barcelona, no one knew about cocktails. We was the first cocktail bar in Spain.
Miguel Boadas opened Cocktail Bar Boadas in 1933. In 1934, Doña Maria Dolores Boadas was born.
We are so proud to have the first lady making cocktails in the history of Spain. She was Maria Dolores Boadas. She was amazing.
As soon as she could see over the bar, she was serving customers. When he retired, she married Don Joseph and ran Boadas for decades together. Doña Maria Dolores and Don Joseph trained a generation of bartenders.
Most of the famous cocktail bars in Barcelona are old workers from Boadas. You go to any bar, any old bar, surely he was an old worker from Boadas.
The thrown martini cocktail to me is far better than the shaken or stirred. The throwing technique was so poetic, so balletic. It was beautiful. This was the original mixing technique, and yet this technique faded away down to just this one bar. Boadas has always celebrated its martinis. In fact, when you go in, the first drink they will suggest is, would you like a martini?
Our offer is always, do you need a martini?
Each generation of us, we have shoulders for the next generation to stand on. And it's beautiful to see throwing come back from one bar to tens of thousands of bars around the world.
We are very proud to be open 87 years. We was open during the Civil War of Spain. We was open during the Second World War. The only time we closed in all this life was during the COVID. We need to close 4 months. But we are full of life, and we will open at least 87 years more to be the bar for the people.
Boadas has a phenomenal history, but you know that bar is going to be absolutely as good in the future.
Everybody's focusing on what's new, what's next, what's going on. So no, you need to slow down. Focus on how things used to be before, and eventually this can be a very big inspiration to do something different today, perhaps. But that bar needs to live at least 200 more years, at least.
When you make it to Boadas, have a martini. If you've already been there, you know what I'm talking about. Cheers.
The nominees for American Bartender of the Year are Kevin Diedrich, Mary Palick, Masahiro Yoshida, Christine Wiseman, and the Spirited Award goes to Kevin Diedrich. Please welcome Kevin Diedrich.
Hi, wow. Thank you for this amazing honor, this amazing award. I want to say thank you to my fellow nominees, Christine, Mary, Masa, everyone that I respect utmost, and it was an honor to be nominated with you guys. I want to say thank you to the panel, to my wife especially, who's saw me through a lot of bartendings up and downs. And a big thanks to my mentors and all the bartenders I got to share bartending ranks with, you know, from Brad Ferens to Julie Reiners, Jim Meehan's, Ryan Fitzgerald's, and Todd Smith's and Dom's. My success is just a reflection of how awesome you guys were to me as a bartender. So thank you again for the honor. I'm just gonna have a beer, toast you guys, and say thank you. Cheers. See you in New Orleans next year. Cheers.
The nominees for International Bartender of the Year are Banny Kane, Kelsey Ramage, Remy Savage, Caitlin Stewart, and the Spirited Award goes to Kelsey Ramage. Please welcome Kelsey Ramage.
I want to start by saying a huge thank you to all my friends and colleagues who gave me their votes and their recognition this year. It's a wonderful feeling to be here today, despite the hardship and taking this from home. But thank you to Tales for hosting this award show and giving a small reason to celebrate during such a difficult time for our industry. I want to take a minute to thank everyone who helped me get here. My Dandelion family, Trash Tiki and Supernova, and all of my closest friends and support network. Everyone who's dumped my drinks down the sink in the hopes that I can be better to get me here. So Alex, Ryan, Ian, Ashley, Juan, Adam, Maudie, my mom and my dad and my sister. I couldn't have done any of this without you. Thank yous aside, I just want to make sure something gets mentioned, as there are many things in my life that have allowed me to get here, and I want to make sure that we all understand how this recognition comes about. When I was 29, I was able to freely pick up everything and move to London. Had enough money and the freedom to do that. I was able to obtain work at that time without facing discrimination for any reason. And even today, I can wake up and focus on my work and do videos like these without fear of police brutality, of any intrusion into my own home, or any abuse that happens in my own space. I'm completely safe to be able to do this. So while I'm proud of what I've achieved and the chances that I've taken to get here in life, I would never feel right claiming that it's down to my own talent, when a huge number of societal privileges have given me chances that others just don't have. I mention this with the direct purpose of challenging all of us, myself included, to continue to address and break down the double standards our industry has had and has a long road ahead of them, to get to a place that truly represents an equitable and diverse landscape. Thank you so much.
To present the Helen David Lifetime Achievement Award, please welcome bartender and founder of the Modern Mixologist, Tony Abughanam.
Hello, everyone. I am so proud to introduce the Helen David Lifetime Achievement Award. As many of you know, Helen was not only my mentor, but she was my cousin. Helen, along with her mother, opened the Brass Rail Bar in Port Huron, Michigan in 1937, and she ran the bar until her death at the age of 91 in 2006. And the Brass Rail is where I got my bartending start. Although Helen passed in 2006, on behalf of myself and my family, it is with great pleasure that we honor her memory through the individuals in our community that exemplify the values that we so loved and respected in Helen. Recipients of a Lifetime Achievement Award, like Helen, have made a lasting impact on cocktail culture. This was seen for Helen through her love and appreciation and respect for the classics, how she paid attention to the details and took something ordinary and made it extraordinary. Perhaps her biggest impact on our profession, though, was her love and respect for the art of hospitality. She instilled this in me as well as many that worked for her. She would always say to me, Tony, treat the customers at the bar the way you would guests in your home. And Helen was actually born in the apartment above the Brass Rail, lived there her entire life, and she treated her bar like an extension of the living room. People from all walks of life drank shoulder to shoulder in the Brass Rail, and it really was a community bar. And community was so important to Helen. I don't think that there was a hockey or a softball league in Port Huron that didn't have the Brass Rail logo on their jerseys. I remember they used to refer to Helen as the First Lady of Port Huron. And a Lifetime Achievement Award recipient is someone who not only creates a community through their consummate love of hospitality, but also understands how important it is to give back of their time and their resources. And finally, a Lifetime Achievement Award winner must be a mentor. You need to be a mentor and to teach and inspire the next generation of great bartenders. Helen was a mentor to many, including myself, but really she was a mentor to women behind the bar at a time when this was so very rare. If you go to the brass rail, the beautiful back bar, in one corner is the goddess of wisdom, and the other is the goddess of knowledge looking down on the bar itself. And Helen really supported and was passionate about strong women in this profession. And that's why I am so very excited that for the first time, the Helen David Lifetime Achievement Award is going to be given to a woman. This year's Helen David Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Audrey Saunders.
Audrey's always a good time.
Audrey has a big heart.
She's a creative person.
She loves people.
She's a person who inspired a whole generation of young people.
She's always looking for perfection. She would make a drink like 80 times and be like, it's still not good enough, you know?
I first met Audrey mid-90s. I was teaching at NYU. Right after the class, she walked up to me and said, I will work for you for nothing. I want to learn how to do this.
She worked for free under Dale. She located the one person who was known for this and said, hey, teach me.
She was laser focused on this cocktail business.
She started out actually at a bar in Carroll Gardens, and she was like pulling pints. She was at a place called Beacon, then she was at the Carlisle Hotel. I had opened the Flatiron Lounge, and my partners there were talking about opening another bar. I was like, I know somebody who should have her own bar. When Pegu Club opened, it was really a turning point in cocktail culture in America. At that time in New York, there really weren't a lot of people making craft cocktails or even using fresh juice.
Pegu Club set a new standard.
This is what a cocktail bar is supposed to be. It was boisterous, it was fun, wonderful cocktails.
It was a very classy, kind of high-end experience. Audrey was pushing gin cocktails.
While the majority of people in New York were ordering vodka, she introduced gin.
Gin was her thing.
Audrey's model towards her own menu was every single drinks on the menu has to be good.
There are cocktails from that wonderful menu on menus around the world.
She had some really incredible drinks. The Gin Mule.
Old Cuban.
The Jamaican Firefly.
Earl Grey Martini.
The 50-50 Martini, she really kind of popularized that. They're all delicious.
She understood the classics and modernized them, so it became more approachable.
She really helped people to dissect cocktails in a way that they hadn't done it before.
If you're going to be creative, you do need to master the classics, and you really have to do the work at the end of the day and look at it 80 ways.
The young bartenders who worked with her at Pegu Club went on to open places like Death & Co., PDT, Maya Well. I mean, really top of the craft cocktail movement.
She's a great mentor because she's dedicated. She's going to push you as far as she can, ultimately just to make you the best bartender you could be.
She is great at navigating us to understand the process that is necessary to craft something that's great. And there is no shortcut.
She's a perfectionist. She taught bartenders how to work until it was right.
Pay attention to the process. That was her way of teaching.
The entire cocktail landscape of America was changed by Pegu Club.
We really don't go to bars, we go to bartenders. That's the bartender I want to go to. Audrey makes you want to stay too long and come back right away.
Audrey Saunders is the ultimate bar professional. I've learned so much from her over the years.
She definitely helped me grow not only as a bartender, but also as a human being.
She changed everything, and for that, she absolutely should be recognized.
Her work brought a new life to American cocktail culture.
Well, Audrey, my dear friend, I don't think there has been anyone who has meant more to the craft cocktail movement than you have, and I would like to drink to that. A salute.
I cannot think of anyone more deserving of this award than Audrey. Audrey has also dedicated herself to philanthropy. For the past 16 years, she has sat as beverage chair for the New York charity City Meals on Wheels, their annual chef's dinner to celebrate James Beard. And she has personally raised over $750,000. Like Helen, I know that Audrey feels that how important it is for us to give back to the community, to give back to our profession, and to support the others less fortunate. Audrey, I see an awful lot of Helen in you. I just want to thank you personally for continuing Helen's legacy, the contributions you've made, not only to cocktail culture and to up-and-coming bartenders, but to the community as a whole. I want to raise a glass to you and toast you with Helen's very simple toast, happiness. Here's wishing you happiness today and happiness in the future. And I thank you for all that you have done and contributed to this wonderful profession. Congratulations.
Tony Abaganam, how are you, my friend? Thank you very, very much. Your words mean the world to me, and I want to thank both you and the Tales of the Cocktail Foundation for providing our industry with this humbling award. It's a real honor to be included in Helen's legacy. Good evening, everyone. Tonight we stand here on the shoulders of giants, those who came before us and served as our mentors. And now, as a mentor myself, I've only wanted the very best for this industry. When I began bartending 25 years ago, my mission was to change the way we drink for the better. And it was deeply important to me to help restore the pride we bartenders take in our craft through the lens of the public eye. Never again to have to endure that question that so many of us have been asked, what's your real job? But it takes a village to bring about the change, and education plays a very large role in that. Back in the day, getting an education in craft cocktails was like looking for a needle in a haystack. But if you're lucky in life, you'll cross paths with people who are able to help. Folks who not only take a genuine interest in your career, but in your personal growth as well. I remember applying for my very first bartending job at my local, the Waterfront Ale House. What always drew me there was the warm, welcoming atmosphere that my dear friend Sam Barbieri had created there. Sam took pity on me and told me that he would only consider hiring me if I went to bartending school. And I was determined, so off I went, and a few weeks later I came back to him with that certificate. At that point, Sam kept his word and started me with 2 shifts. I got a lot of tough love, but for that in itself I am forever grateful. The funny thing is, I never quite expected to fall in love with it so quickly. After only 2 short weeks behind the bar, I felt like I was home. Corey Hill was Sam's bar manager at the time, and he patiently taught me the ropes and always lended an understanding ear whenever I needed one. It was a hard, gritty business, and Corey wanted me to know exactly what I was getting myself into. Was it character forming? You bet. But I am forever indebted to both Sam and Corey for opening my eyes to the professionalism needed in order to succeed in this business. A few short weeks later, Corey introduced me to his friend Dale DeGroff, a human being so kind, so patient, and so abundant with positivity and encouragement. And having the opportunity to work with Dale was more than I could ever dream of. His generosity and passion for the craft has always been one of my greatest sources of inspiration. Dale, I'm forever grateful to you, not only for tucking me under your wing, but for showing me the ropes. And also for providing me with my own wings to fly and enabling me to pay it forward with Pegu Club. Thanks for making my dreams come true, Pops. And thank you for introducing me to Chef Waldy Malouf and his GM, Marie Maher at Bacon Restaurant. Waldy and Marie stood behind me with nothing but encouragement and gave me carte blanche to develop my very first cocktail program there. In fact, it was behind that bar that the Ginger Mule was born. Dale, you also told the Carlisle Hotel that the best man for the job of running Bemelman's Bar was a woman you knew. And I want to thank the entire executive management team at the Carlisle for taking Dale's word on that. You provided me with leadership skills and instilled in me a never-ending quest for excellence. And to my longtime friends, Julie Reiner and Susan Fitroff, the hardest working women I know, thank you for your friendship, your encouragement, and your support. We have been through thick and thin together over the years, and I have the absolute greatest respect and admiration for you both. Without you, the Cossies, and Craig Lehner, Pager never would have existed. And to two of my best friends in the world, my husband Robert Hess, and Pegu Club's GM Rob Oppenheimer, the brother I never had. You are two of the finest men I will ever know. I have the honor of just sharing my life with you, and I love you both with all my heart. I simply couldn't make it through the day if it weren't for you both. To every single Pegu Club alumnus, when you signed on to Pegu, you signed on to learn. I wanted you all to succeed in this industry, and the only way to accomplish that was to provide you with an ironclad skill set and a solid education. And it gave me a great deal of comfort to know that when you finally went on your own, that you'd be equipped with the tools you needed to create your own successes. I couldn't be any prouder of what we were able to accomplish together over the years, and that's due to each and every one of you. Thank you for every single brick you laid and for your unique contributions to her success. 25 years later, I get to look at all of you in this industry just rocking it out. And through you, I take enormous joy in seeing my dreams come true. You have all grown so smart, so strong, so creative, and so clearly ready for whatever charge might come your way. And I couldn't possibly be any prouder of this industry than I am today. Throughout this pandemic, I've watched you all display fierce resiliency, ingenuity, and real guts. We bartenders are a feisty lot, and it's up to us to keep fighting the good fight. Our livelihoods are at stake right now, but we've got to keep facing the future, because in one form or another, we will make it to the other side. But we've got to keep making noise, and we've got to keep stirring the pot. If you want to bring change, take it from me. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't take any shit from anyone. Don't take no for an answer if it doesn't feel just. And keep challenging the status quo. It's how you'll get it done. Stay healthy, vote, and wear a mask like your life depends on it, because it does. Love to you, Chris Patino. Hang in there. God bless, and Godspeed to you all. Miss you, Mom and Dad. Cheers. This one's for you.
Please welcome President of the Tales of the Cocktail Foundation, Caroline Rosen.
Thank you all for joining us for this year's Digital Spirited Awards. The Foundation would like to congratulate all of those who received recognition this year and all of those that were nominated for a Spirited Award. The engagement we've seen over this past week leaves us confident, now more than ever, that together we will come out of this as an even stronger community and a more equitable industry. We will be back together in New Orleans one day soon. Until then, we hope you stay safe and continue to move forward. As we close this year's awards, we want to leave you with a message from members of our community. We hope their words of encouragement will inspire you as they have inspired us. Thanks, y'all.
Tales of the Cocktail 2020 winners, congratulations.
Congratulations to the winners of this year's Spirited Awards.
I'm reaching out to congratulate all the winners of Tales of the Cocktails 2020.
All the way from the Netherlands, I want to congratulate all this year's Spirited Awards winners.
Well deserved.
Your creativity and passion drive to be the best is second to none. Congratulations once again.
Keep on mixing and keep on raising the bars for the culture and enjoy the award.
It's been really wonderful to see so many friends and peers be nominated and winning awards this year, especially when it's been a really tough time for a lot of us.
These last few months have been very difficult to all of us, to say the least, which is why these awards and the recognition means much more than ever. They give us hope for a brighter, better future and remind us that hard work, dedication, and perseverance pays off.
It is amazing to be recognized by your peers. It shows that your work paid and that people recognize how amazing you are and how hard you worked.
And while it's wonderful to be celebrated and recognized for our efforts, that's not why we do this. We do this because of our love of the craft, our love of the industry, and our desire to keep it moving forward and to see it thrive and grow.
In the current situation that we've found ourselves, the Spirited Awards has never had a more powerful meaning.
It's so much more than an award ceremony.
This is just another chapter of our crazy industry, but ultimately the Spirited Awards acts as a platform of hope and community.
Being able to take home a Spirited Award to your community and say, hey, we're still here. And not only are we just still here, but we are here doing an exceptional job.
It's really admirable, all of the actions that you're taking to ensuring that we are in safe spaces, that we're constantly inspired, and that we're moving towards making this industry a better one.
Winning an award carries a responsibility with it to find the ways to pull this entire industry forwards and upwards.
I look forward to seeing how each of you take your roles to empower an eager and willing new generation that will make sure that all the hard work we're doing right now will be reflected in the next set of winners and leaders.
And that's certainly why those people that we celebrate should represent a wide variety of people. You know, representation is indeed important.
To excel today, we must look to ourselves and to our boss on how fair and how relevant we are to our staff and to our communities.
Our industry has always been diverse, and that now, more than ever, it's up to all of us to make this industry what we know it can be, a truly inclusive space where everyone is awarded the same opportunities and where everyone is acknowledged, valued, and respected.
It's important that we continue to recognize the people who are continuing to shape the way that we're all going to move forward in the hospitality industry.
Even though this year has been super difficult, it's been beyond inspiring seeing our community come together and to lift each other up and to help each other out.
We got delivery from like a snap.
Bartenders creating art, bartenders starting fitness programs.
Changing the business, creating new businesses, surviving, or even in some cases, a massive success during what has been a very negative time in all our lives.
Profession always has peaks and valleys, and from every valley, you'll see the next peak rise and take it.
Stay positive, stay focused, and help everybody else around you.
We are made of iron. We never die. We never stop working. And we will rise again.
We're gonna always do what we're good at, and that's being innovative in chaotic situations. That's what a night of service is at any bar.
Let's continue to support and raise each other up through these tough times. We will come out on the other side better together.
We're part of one of the most amazing industry in the world. We make cocktails, we make people happy.
Keep loving each other, keep supporting each other. This roller coaster is far from over yet, but we have got such a strong cocktail community and we're going to get through this.
Cheers, I love you, and I'll see you next year.
This business is not going anywhere. It's going to come back, and all those people that were clever enough to open a bar, who've lost their bars, will be clever enough to figure out how to do it again.
Cheers, everybody. Salud.
Cheers.
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 Santé. Salut. Kampai. Cheers. Here's to us.
That concludes the 14th Annual Spirited Awards. Thank you all for watching.